Hi and welcome to an ichimoku analysis of some major pairs. We're looking on weekly charts, and these are weekly ichimoku charts. This pink line here represents the high-low of 9 candles. So we've got a high, we've got the low there, that's its midpoint. The red line, so this one is representing the high, and it'll be probably there. Now moving into it, this candle here was highlighted by a person by the name of Calvo as a dominant outside candle, and subsequently we had this big long candle. I suggested we didn't want to get into this area. This area, which is called the cloud, between the blue line and the green line, is an area of support and resistance and high volatility. Since then we see that we've been using that line as a resistance, and the bottom of the cloud has also been acting as support. What I wanted to highlight was this brown line back here, and we see that it's been tracking down and is now using these old candles as support. It is closed price 26 periods back, so in this case 6 months. Now what I want to see is this brown line to stay above these candles, so that we can come back up into this area. This is a danger zone. So for the moment I'm looking at that 1.35, 135 as a resistance area, and we've got a bit of a moving support area, and it's been climbing. Now what I've also noticed is that it's been using the tops of these candles, of the bodies, as support. Can we continue to hold 129, potentially 127.2. Good signals is that this blue has got above the green. That has formed a bull cloud. However, the pink line will be coming down into this area, 131.5, and that will drag down the blue line and could easily form a continued bear. If price comes back down into this area, breaks out of that cloud, the lag line gets back under, we go back into bear formation, and then we'll be testing the low at 1.18. Moving on, we're also looking at the euro to the yen. We see that we've been in a big bear trending mode since the big drop, and I think you'll find that that corresponds to the fat finger instant crash that we had many months ago. This red line at 110.5 roughly is the midpoint for the last 6 months, and we've got the pink line which is just sitting right where price is at the moment. And can it get above those two? We've had the pink line get above the red. The pink represents 9 periods, the red represents 26 periods, so the faster move has moved over the top of the slower, so that is somewhat of a bull signal. As we had this rally in here, can price support that and get back up in here and come in and touch this cloud? We've got this downtrending line which is also around the point of the cloud. Can price stay above this? If it doesn't, we will have a strong bear signal with the faster moving AV coming back through, and then I would look to see for new lows. Ultimately, I don't think that this will necessarily hold the 105.5. I think that we'll be coming back down into this area of the trend line and seeing if it can support, or whether it actually forms an angle more akin to the upper trend line and goes and breaks that. So I'm very strongly watching the 110.5 level on the euro to the yen. The Aussie US dollar, I've got a bit more data out on this one because I wanted to be able to see this old high. This red dotted line is just current price, and we see the price is coming down and currently supporting on that. It is also the midpoint with the pink line, but we've got the red midpoint back down here at 90.943, and that represents the midpoint from this low to that high. And it also represents these two old highs. So if this high doesn't support, I'll be looking for price to come down to that 94 level to see whether these two old highs can up the support, which is also the midpoint. We have a bull trending cloud, which is increasing the odds of a continued bull trend, and we can look for the price to come up here. The lag line, it came back up through the candles here and is now in blue sky. It needs to come back over the top here to continue the bull trending, and that would give us new highs. I'm closer in on the Aussie yen because I wanted to be able to see a few things here. Firstly, this is crossed. That is a bull signal that in the last 6 months, price has trended better than what it has in the last 12 months. The blue line is 6 months projected into the future. The green line is 12 months projected into the future. It's only a small amount, but at this stage, price is supporting on the pink line, and if it can hold that support and continue upwards, I think we can see quite a good move here coming up to test the old highs at 88. Now the lag line is sitting above the cloud, above the candles. We're in a good space here, and I'll just bring up my crosshairs so I can nominate it. We've got some support here at 81.1 roughly with this lag line. Now it's closed price. I do find that whilst the candle is being formed, and these are weeklies, that it can dip in and pull back out. And I've also put a green line here representing this green one here, which should be very good support at 79.8. Now we've still got the red line here underneath the cloud, and over the next few weeks we'll find that this will come upwards as it starts dropping off candles. It works off where the lag line is at, so we're currently using this low here. So the red line is representing from there to there, and it's going to be another 2 months before it drops off. So we actually need new highs to increase this point here, and that will drag that red line back up. And if once we can get that above this 79.8 level, then we are moving back into a bull trending formation. We can use that line currently as support, 81.7, and ultimately the 79.8. This is a bullish looking chart, but we've got to break out of that ranging. Looking at the USD to the Swiss franc, we see that price is right on the old low, just like on the Aussie US dollar. Now, price has not got above that pink line, and if once it moves, if it can hold resistance at that level, we were moving right back into a bear trending formation, so 0.967. We are moving back in. We've got a bear cloud, red sitting right nicely there. It hasn't been tested. It's moved below that line, that high at the 1 mark at parity, and again this could easily move back, continue to be in that bear trending formation. And I've added in the Canadians for a chart. Oh no, we've still got the US yen. No, we'll leave that one. The Canadian, USD to the Canadians, we see that price has not tested the old low. We see that this pink line went up through as price was testing resistance at the cloud, failed at that, and has moved back down, and pink has followed it down. I'll try and bring that up a little bit so that we can see it and get a better view. And we see that pink has crossed back down. Strong bear signal. Cloud has remained bear. The green is above the blue, and all of the moving averages are pointing downwards. The lag line, it has trailed through all the candles. It has now got all of this resistance here, and particularly looking at the level of 1.03, 104 roughly. Yeah, 104 I would look as being strong resistance. It's represented by the lag line coming up, taking on these candles, but the moving averages are sitting there, particularly that red line. And we also see that it's in the cloud formation here, that if the candles came up, it would also hit that resistance at the 104 level. I would be looking for strong resistance at basically parity at 1, it's a fraction above, so it's 1006, and if price can stay below that pink line, we are continuing in this bear formation, and then we can go and take on the old low. The Canadian to the yen, and we can see that it's in a big ranging format, which is common with most of the yen pairs. The yen hasn't greatly moved compared to most. It has travelled with most of the pairs, but we see that it has got above these candles. Now again, I'll try and move a little bit closer. I just wanted to give that bigger picture first up, and now we can look into it, and I have got some trend lines left on this one, which is framing price on the outsides, and I look at the ichimoku coming through the middle being the midpoint. Now we have had the faster moving average, the pink line, come over the top of this red line, and price is now above both of these moving averages and climbing towards the cloud. I would be looking at particularly this level up here at 86.4 as being strong resistance, but if it continues this trend of where it is coming back into the midpoints, we can see whether it can develop a breakout and come up here through. We do have a strong bear cloud currently, and we'll just have to watch to see what action is going on. But currently the bear trending has been broken, and we see that the lag line is inside the cloud, which it does support and resist at, and it is currently up in these candles. Let's see if the lag line can come up into this area and use some of these candles as support, and if price comes back into here, we see that the lag line might be sitting around here. I hope you found that of value. Until next time, thanks.